Hi, this is Coralla at CorallaFickling.com and WelcomeNetwork.com. I kind of left the other video, video number 10, irregular verbs, a little bit quickly because sometimes time goes a little bit quicker than I realized. But I got all the information in as far as the verb to have and the other verbs, and looking at hit, and hit being golpear or pegar as a verb, but it also is a noun. A lot of verbs are nouns. A lot of these verbs are also nouns too, okay? And you know, when you want to say a song is a hit, es un éxito, right? Versus a book, you can say a book is a hit, you can say it was a hit, but a lot of times you'll just say it's a bestseller. Okay, so let me continue looking at irregular verbs in English. So once again, I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the very cards that you can download at WelcomeNetwork.com. To hold is agarrar, tener, or sujetar. And the past tense form, because I say past tense form because you can use the past tense form when you're talking about the pretérito, when you're talking about the simple past tense, but you can also use it in English, not in Spanish, in English also when you're using the subjunctive. Because in English, when you're talking of the subjunctive, that is if clause. For example, if I had $1,000, si tuviera, you know, si tuviera, porque no tienes, in Spanish you use an entirely different verb form. In English you just use the past tense. Okay, so the past tense form for the verb to hold is held, H-E-L-D, and the past participle is held. To hurt, lastimar or doler. Okay, the past tense form is hurt, the past participle is hurt. You can see there's a lot of verbs in which the past tense form and the past participle form, if you want to call it past participle form, they're the same, but that's not always the case. That's what you have to be worried about. That's not always the case. To keep, mantener or seguir, and you know, mantener, for example, I keep a lot of money in my pocket. Okay, whatever. Okay, I keep a lot of money in my pocket. That is when you know, mantener, no? Versus seguir would be I'll keep going until I'm forced to stop. No? Voy a seguir, okay? Voy a seguir haciendo lo que tengo que hacer hasta que alguien me diga que ya no, o alguien me pare, no? So, when I'm saying it means mantener or seguir, two very different meanings, and they're used very much. And those are both meanings are important. So to keep, kept, past tense form, kept. So I'm not going to just keep saying past tense form, past participle. I'll give you the infinitive, then directly I'll give you the past tense form, and then directly the past participle. Okay. To kneel, okay, ponerse de rodillas, arrodillarse. Arrodillarse. Okay, knelt, K-N-E-L-T. To know, saber or conocer, very important verbs. Okay, where in Spanish you have two different verbs. Saber is to know a fact in Spanish, versus conocer is more to know a person, generally. In English there's no difference. Okay, I know someone versus I know that they speak Spanish in Mexico. Okay, so to know, knew, K-N-E-W, known, K-N-O-W-N. This verb is sort of difficult, even for English speakers. We don't know how to use it, and I say we very well. The verb is to lay, L-A-Y. It's poner or meter. Okay, the past tense is laid, and the past participle is laid. Okay, to lead, because by the way, we get to lay and to lie, not lie and decir mentiras, but acostar versus acostarse. We get those two verbs mixed up quite a bit in English, quite a bit. To lead, dirigir, mandar, guiar, conducir. To lead, Led, L-E-D, it's a homograph, and led, L-E-D. And I say it's a homograph because there's another word that is, it's a homophone. Another word is spelled differently but pronounced the same, L-E-A-D. Okay, led. All right. Okay. To leave, dejar or salir. No me dejes, por ejemplo. You hear that a lot in songs in English. No me dejes, don't leave me. Okay? But that's leave in the sense of abandonar, no? Left, yes, it's the same left when you're talking about your left hand, L-E-F-T, and left, L-E-F-T, but it's different meanings, obviously. To lean, inclinarse, apoyarse. Lent, oh, I'm not pronouncing that right. Leant. He leaned against the door. My pronunciation is not very good there. Don't know why. It's not coming out right. All right. To leap, saltar or brincar. Leapt. You know what? I'm going to have to come back to that. That doesn't look right. I think that's more British than American. I'm going to come back to leap. Okay, he leapt against, he leapt against the floor. No, leapt, L-E-A-P-T. That's another one can give problems. To lend. And the reason I'm not, changing the video and then coming back and doing it, because I want you to see that we sometimes too have problems with irregular verbs. Just like I'm pretty sure in Spanish, I've heard people have problems with irregular verbs, because I've heard, and I've said this once and I had to apologize, the verb romper, and I've heard people say rompido instead of roto, right, with the past participle, participio pasado, no, roto, han dicho rompido, because if sometimes you forget, especially if that's what you hear on the street, and now you have to do it, quote, correctly. Okay, to lend, lent. And I want you to see that, and English speakers too have it. It's language, and it's constantly changing, and sometimes you say it one way on the street and other way, quote, correctly. To let, dejar, hacer, permitir, let. How much time? I've got time. To lie, acostarse, tenderse. Okay, so listen to this. To lie, I'm not saying to lie in the sense of they say mentira, no? Mentir. That's another lie. I'm talking about lie in the sense of acostarse, okay? That is, you lay down. You lay yourself down. The past tense is lay, L-A-Y. Now, I know you're saying, but wait a minute, wasn't that the verb to lay? And the past tense was laid? Yes. Can you see? So let me show you what I'm talking about. There's a verb in English called to lay, right? Now that means that you take someone and you lay them down, okay? And that's acostar. For example, I lay the baby down, okay? The past tense for the verb to lay is laid, and the past participle is laid. All right. Then there's a verb to lie. Now you have to be careful, because I'm not talking about they say una mentira or mentir. It's written the same way and everything, but I'm talking about to lie when it means acostarse. I take myself and I lie down. See, I almost said lay. I lie down. I lie myself down. Now the past tense for that verb, it's lay, L-A-Y. Almost no one says this right in English. Almost no one says this right. Okay? And the past participle is lain, L-A-I-N. People say this wrong all the time, because they can't, because when they say, but how can the past be lay if we have the verb to lay? But that's how it is correctly. I can't vouch that on the streets that's what you hear. I'm running out of time. I'll continue on the next tape. This is tape 11. I'll continue on the next tape. Corrala Ficklin, corralaficklin.com.